Hey guys, so Bleach Chapter 685. Man, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what to feel, man, right now. This is the penultimate chapter of Bleach, and it still hasn't sunk in. Like, I know it has. I know it's ending, but I just can't imagine not, like with Bleach. Flip, man. Bleach, I can't imagine it not ending. I can't imagine it ending. Like, I can't imagine it not being there anymore. And it's a really crappy kind of feeling as well. It's just like, I don't even know what to do, honestly. When I read this chapter, it finished me because it's an end of an era. Like, we've finished, honestly. Like, this journey that we've been on with Ichigo and all of them, it's ended now and we part ways. So it's kind of sad, but it is kind of good because you can look back on the moments and the greatness of Bleach and see how all the awesome things that just happened. But yeah, so this chapter was actually amazing. But I'm sorry if, like, in this review I just seem all over the place because this chapter just hit me like a train. So like, I've got so many thoughts and feelings in my mind. A lot of them, all jokes aside, let's just put in some couple of like hilarious kind of comments. Why the hell is Renji not a captain? Like, flippin' hell. Even freaking Isane or like Lisa, they got a captain before Renji and Renji's still lieutenant. You know what I find hilarious? The fact how Renji's still a lieutenant. The reason he probably didn't go, which is the main reason, is obviously because like he wants to be under Byakuya so he can surpass him. But I laugh if it's like, oh, Renji tries to apply, so he goes into the test and all of this kind of stuff to see his bunkai and all that kind of crap. But then they're just like, sorry, you can't be captain because you're literally terrible at Kido. Because if you've ever seen Renji fight Kido, like he even struggles to do a Shihakusho harder number 31. So I'd find it funny if that was the main reason he didn't get captain. But like, the character designs and everything, Nemu, man. Nemuri Hachigo. That's number 10. Like, what was it, wait, Nemuri Nanaga. That is sleeping number 9, I believe. Yeah, so Hachigo, that's 10, but like, oh gosh, that is just like, that brings out the feels, because, especially from, honestly, to this day, the fight between Mayuri and Panida is definitely a top favourite, especially with Nemu's actions in that fight. Like, and we're just seeing it back as a child, and the way Mayuri's obviously just like acting with Nemu, it's just sad. Like, Tokyo Hill took me though, man, because it's like, think of what happened in Tokyo Hill. Like, Ichigo comes with his Zangetsu, he strikes it down as Tensa Zangetsu into the whole hill, then he stops the Phoenix, the dragon, which had a power of 1,000,000 something else. Who the hell knows how Ichigo managed to stop that? But like, all of that greatness, and Rukia, the Soul Society arc, everything, the fact that it's been rebuilt and everything's been changed, it's just like it's a new era, a new chapter. And it really is sad, and that pun was intended, new chapter kind of thing, if you got it. But like, oh gosh, honestly, my thoughts right now, it may seem weird how I don't seem like I'm portraying sadness right now, but the fact is, I can't just portray sadness, or like, I can't really portray like, being like depressed about it, that Bleach is ending, because I generally do not know how to prepare for an ending of Bleach. Every time I say this, it reminds me of when, Ginjo died, and Tsukishima, he was like screaming out. It was just like, I don't know what to do now that you've gone. That's literally me. I don't know what to do now that Bleach has left. Obviously in 2 weeks, but like, it's sad, man. But let's get into the greatness that I love about this chapter. Honestly, on its own, and even thinking about all of the things some things that got left out and rushed, this chapter still is amazing. This chapter is still a really good chapter. Now, I really want to talk about Iba, and I haven't neglected the whole topic of Iba and Konomura. It's just that it always skips my mind. And for literally, I do not see any Bleach fan talk about this. And this is the subject of why Konomura and Iba, why I love Squad 9. No, Squad 7. Yeah, Squad 9 is Kensei and Shuhei, sorry. Yeah, this is why I love Squad 7. You wanna know why I love Konomura and why I love Iba? It's for what they stand for. Literally, every time, what they actually stand for, pardon me, what they stand for is justice and honesty. And they have a true aim. You see it in Komura's fights. He doesn't go into fight just for, you know, protecting himself or protecting oneself. It's not just a fight of saving one's life or a fight of pride. He's doing this for the sense of justice of what the Gotai 13 has done to him. He's doing this for the sake of what Yamamoto has brought Komura in. This is why I've loved each and every fight of Komura. This is why I love his character. Especially when he was fighting Bambietto and he was just like, the same thing that Yamamoto done, like, I'm getting chills right now. But when he was just like, of course I had to set my life on the stake. Then he was like, what did he say? He was like, as soon as I entered this fight, I already threw away my life. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, it honestly gave me chills. That's what I love about it, honestly. Komura and Iba, they're the embodiment of what Soul Society is. We see other characters like Shinji, Byakuya. Byakuya's one who's proud. Shinji, just, you know, just a comical kind of character. He's kind of, who is sometimes a badass, but sometimes he just takes the major L. But, characters like Hitsugaya and all these kind of stuff, they're different, but what Komura and Iba is, they stand for what Soul Society was brought upon. They stand for what Bleach actually is. When you first come into the Soul Society, like, those two, like, they're not the most popular characters, they don't get the most screen time, they don't get the most character development, but that is why I do love those characters, and I'll keep on loving them, especially when we see Iba, he's got the pompadour right now, that badass scar, that scar looks so beast, like, it's just amazing, man. And he comes in, and you can just tell how the way he took up the mantle of being captain, it weren't the way he wanted to do it. Obviously, it kind of implied that we don't know where Komura is. Maybe Komura is still in Serete. He's obviously still in dog form. Maybe he's gone back to the bestial realm where his grandfather was or something like that. We don't really know. But we didn't see Komura. We didn't find out anything about him in this chapter. But yeah, I'm happy for Iba, man. Iba deserved captaincy. I'm not gonna lie, he looks sick, the new character design looks really awesome. I'm not gonna lie, the whole choicing of captains, I'm kinda happy about it. Obviously for Renji not being a captain, but part of me can never see Renji as being a captain. He always seems as, you know, like a badass who's a lieutenant that'll just go out and just wreck people, man. That's what Renji seems like. But yeah, this chapter now, what else do I want to talk about? So the captains, Lisa is squad 8, that's pretty cool. Rukia, man. Oh, gosh, that was amazing. Just seeing Rukia as a captain in squad 13, it's just everything comes full circle, you know, with her being with Kaien, and then, you know, Ukitake, and then now she takes up the mantle. It's really amazing, and I remember in chapter 616 or 617 or 15 or 14. One of those chapters is when Ukitake releases the Mimi Hagi summon. He's just like, oh, I've thrown away my life right now and that kind of stuff. And then you see Rukia's face, the expression which Kubo draws upon him. It's like Rukia kind of knows that she's going to have to take over again. And you need, the thing is with Rukia's character, it's not delved upon, but it's kind of similar to Kyoraku's. With Kyoraku's character in the fight, we find out that, you know, everyone kind of gives something to him before they die, like he's left with such guilt. Which is pretty deep if you think about it. Like, take a second and actually look at Kyoraku's character. It's extremely deep. But with Rukia's character, it's like people are dying and she kind of blames herself. Like, she blames herself for Kain's death, for the effect that it had on the Shiba family, for the supposedly, apparently, maybe that was the cause of the Shiba family obviously falling down. And she obviously is like, I wouldn't say she would blame herself for what happened to Ukitake. Maybe she does, we're not really sure. But the fact that Ukitake is dead as well, that's just sad. And especially with Kyoraku, because from the start of Bleach, man, the Soul Society arc, Kyoraku and Ukitake, they broke against Yamamoto, they fought him. Like, they've always been there. Like, they're two of the oldest captains. Like, they're the first ones to receive captaincy by Yamamoto, I believe. And the fact that Yamamoto is dead, now Ukitake, like, even again, Kyoraku is left with people dying on him. But in this way, I love what Kubo done in the character development for Kyoraku as well, because it's different. They didn't die and, like, leave something with him. Instead, they just passed on peacefully. And Kyoraku's happy about that, because when he walks away, he's just like, we'll talk later on, Ukitake, with a smile. So, yeah, a lot of things in this. There's a lot of things to talk about in this chapter. With obviously Yachiru gone and Kenpachi, I'm happy for Ikaku Lieutenant. That's amazing, man. I'm really happy for that. I love the character designs. Everything that Kubo done. This chapter was just amazing, man. Like, I don't want to speak about every single character because then this video will be really long. I'm obviously gonna delve into that in a later stage, and maybe in another video. But with, like, you know, just the interactions between Shinji and Hiyori. We didn't see Kisuke, so I don't know what's happening about that. If Kisuke's dead, I don't even know what to do right now. But yeah, we saw Shuhei and flipping hell, Shuhei. I don't even know what to do with you anymore. I had so much trust. I tell this to everyone who reads Bleach. I told them when Shuhei first released his Shikai, I was manic. I was just like, this guy is so awesome. Imagine what his Bunkai would look like. When we found out his Bunkai in 1000 Year Blood War that he had one, I'll be like, oh my gosh, Shuhei's got Bunkai. He's gonna wreck some people. And in fact, Shuhei was the one who got wrecked. Like, that was sad. Honestly, Shuhei, man. And the fact that he's just like, it's funny as well because, you know, like, even Kensei's just like, yep, I ain't seen it either. So it's obviously like, that's our thoughts of the fandom as well, so that's pretty funny to see. I'm interested in, you know, the whole dynamics of Hitsugai's power. He's not an adult anymore. Does that just revert when his Bankai's deactivated? I'm not really sure. I liked Chishiro when he was an adult. It was pretty cool. But the fact that this was 10 years of peace that they've had. Now I want to go into my theories right now because, you know, this chapter implied a lot of things, man. Now I'm going to try and be quick because I don't want this chapter to be too long. Not this chapter, sorry, this review to be too long. Okay, in one of the pages we see like shadow or darkness coming up from the ground, and then we see Mayuri, and Mayuri's talking about, you know, his underground network and all his secret kind of stuff. Just the usual, you know, Mayuri tinkering around and planning and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how to put this. Am I going to do it with that video or not? Now, I'm going to phrase it as, with what happened in this chapter. Okay, with Mayuri and the darkness, I do think that is Yuha Bark. I think Yuha Bark is coming back. Now, I don't know how, honestly, I haven't paid much attention into this theory. I haven't paid much attention into how I feel about this. But the fact that if Yuha Bark comes back, I'm not really sure how to feel. It would be pretty cool. It would be pretty awesome. But like it would be kind of annoying. I don't know how to because like Ichigo kind of took him out. But if he does come back, then imagine, because we need. I want to also talk about the announcement of the sequel. Now, I made a video yesterday when, you know, I found out the news that this chapter wasn't going to be the last. So you can check that out. I'll put that in the info card in there, and I talk a bit more about, you know, some thoughts of like what that announcement's going to be, and I'm going to talk about it very briefly on it in this chapter. I don't think this announcement's for a data book. I don't think this announcement is for what a new game or something to do with the musical. I think it's the anime, and this is my only reason why. If it was an announcement for a data book or something, why would Kubo make the whole page? And Kubo was like, special announcement, next week, like, it was in your face. It has to be the anime, it has to be. Now, if it's not, that's gonna crush me. But let's not think about that. Let's not think about that possibility. All I'm saying is that announcement, I do think it's going to be the anime, and that is going to be awesome. Now, I've said it in previous reviews and previous videos of the anime, you know, filling in all the holes, filling in everything that was skipped, and I was saying how if that was done, that would save everyone's thoughts on people thinking it was rushed and all that kind of stuff. But in my opinion, it would be really awesome, because Kubo would still be able to oversee it, but he wouldn't just be as heavy supervising it as he'd be like when he does the manga, so he can have a bit of rest as well whilst the anime is going on. But yeah, I think it is an anime announcement. Now with Yuha Bark, we see in the shadows coming up. I think Mayuri's tinkering with Yuha if you watch his shadows, not shadows, sorry, either with his powers or his body. Now, what I want to happen, what I don't want to happen is Yuha Bark comes back, because in the previous chapter Yuha Bark was just like, oh, I'll find your happiest memory, and it seems like this is kind of happiest memory, and then Geobot was just like, oh yeah, I'll find your happiest memory and I'll destroy it and I'll kill you, blah 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 blah. Now, I don't want that to happen. What I want to happen, which will be so sick, is, in my opinion, is Mayuri is tinkering with Yuha Bark, but not Yuha Bark's body, actually his powers. And what I mean by his powers, I mean the Soul King's freaking limbs. Because, and picture this, yeah? The Soul King's limbs, all of that kind of stuff, that ties in with the Zero Division, that ties in with the history of the Soul Reaper, that ties in with freaking 1,000 years ago, and Peninda, and Mimi Hagi-sama, and you know, why the Soul King was encased and all that kind of stuff. What did Aizen see? What did Urahara freaking see? All of that kind of stuff. Imagine Kubo just implied that. Imagine Kubo hinted at with that one page of the darkness coming up, and Mayuri was tinkering with the Soul King's abilities, or the Soul King's limbs. That means, if it was a new sequel announced, if it was a new anime announced, we could dive into that. It's possible plot points to be developed in the future. Now, obviously, Bleach is ending, but I'm not saying that there can't be a sequel. If there was a sequel, this would be amazing for the sequel, in my opinion. I don't know if Ichigo would still be the main character, but that'll be discussed in a later video, but just picture that. Like, the Soul King's limbs being there, you know, tampered with Mayuri and what Mayuri does. Now, that's one theory. Now, there's obviously the other theory of, you know, Geobot actually coming back. Happiest moment right now, he's going to come in and probably, like, kill Rukia or something like that, which that should not happen, because Rukia do not die, man, don't die. But, who knows, we'll have to see what happens in the next chapter. Now, we see at the end, we don't see Ichigo, we don't see Uryu, we don't see Chad, we don't see Orihime, we don't see the gang, pretty much. All we see is Rukia and Renji, of the main gang. Now, we'll probably see Ichigo, obviously. We're obviously gonna see. Imagine if we don't see Ichigo next chapter, and it's just like, Kubo's just like, thanks for the support of the 15 years. Bleach is finished, and we're like, wait, what? Where the heck is Ichigo? That would be hilarious, but that would also be like a pain in the ass right there. But, yeah, so next chapter, it says something like, what, Akon? Is it Akon? Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, this is similar to the Reatsu that Yuwatch emitted, so maybe that is Yuwatch coming. I think it's either Uryu or Ichigo, because I think like it'd be so sick with, you know, Uryu. He's kind of like living in the wild world, you know, maybe having his own, like looking after the Quincy's or any surviving Quincy's, and that would be pretty awesome. It may be Ichigo, because we need to kind of understand that Ichigo's, actually no, yeah, it could be Ichigo, you know, because he's a Quincy as well. Even though his powers have been taken. I didn't really know, actually. We'll have to find the next couple of chapters. I don't know what Kubo's playing at, actually, to be honest. Like, Kubo, he's just unpredictable each and every single chapter. I don't know who it could be. Who do you think is gonna, who do you think is emitting that reaction? Do you think it's Yuwatch? Do you think it's Uryu or Ichigo? What do you think about my theory about, you know, what Mayuri is doing underground? That would be awesome. Do you think that would be cool for a good plot point for a sequel, and that may be the announcement, or do you think it would be cool that it could be delved in on the anime later on, like maybe as a filler, but it would be canon? That would be amazing. So, should you get me some? Please tell me your thoughts in comments below. Please tell me your thoughts about, you know, Bleach, the penultimate chapter. That is 685. Just before I go, Bleach actually has 700 chapters. Bleach Chapter 686, that will be the 700th chapter, because it doesn't take into account to turn back the pendulum and everything but the rain thing. So technically, Bleach is ending on chapter 700, kind of like Naruto. So, you know, all things kind of work out. But, yeah, tell me in the comment below what you thought of this chapter. This chapter, in my opinion, was amazing. Give you not advice, but a tip what I done. As soon as I finished this chapter, I went onto YouTube and I typed in Haruka Kanata. That is one of the endings of Bleach. It's, I think, ending 28. Watch the version, which is 4 minutes long, and that version, I don't know if it's version number 7, but it basically shows the whole series of Bleach, like from episode 1. Well, it doesn't do full bring all the way up to 310, so you see all the greatest moments of each and every episode.